Hello, and welcome back to the Coupe de Villa podcast. I am Scott Cooper. I'm here with Tommy Lazaridis and Noah Fisher, and we are here to discuss Aston Villa versus Bologna from round 3 of the Champions League. Yes, another win. The dream continues. We got to pinch ourselves because Aston Villa are top of the Champions League. That's right, another cracking night at Villa Park, and we'll be getting into all of that and much more after this. And welcome back to Coupe de Villa Live, and we are back with a midweek pod. Yes, we thought we had to do one after last night because what a game, what a result, what an atmosphere at Villa Park. Tommy even joined us from his car. That's how special it was.
Yeah, so piss off, Owen, all right? Try my best here.
Look, we're all very excited. We really wanted to talk about this game because what a game it was. And I will go to you first, Tommy, live from his car. What car are you in? What model is it, buddy?
I'm in a Hyundai i30. I've actually got my phone torch and my hand cupped around it so you can see me.
All right.
But
make sure you're not doing anything illegal. We don't.
No. The kids are in the boot. It's all good. No, all good. I actually just finished my billiard tournament. Finished second. It's all right. Still got paid, so all good. But mate, what a night! Actually, I said I wasn't planning to join this. I said, I'm going to surprise these buggers, and wow, what a performance, right? I've never seen it so difficult to pick a man of the match. Everyone's kind of alternating between Rodgers, Maatsen, Tielemans. I mean, Tielemans just there every bloody week. It's almost getting boring. And I know we spoke about underrated the Monday night, right? But I don't know, man. Just like pinch yourself moments right now. Like, where do we go from here? It's unreal. We're sitting top of the Champions League, 3 clean sheets. Bloody shame we couldn't do that in the Prem. But what a performance! Obviously a few shake-ups, a few more than we thought we would have seen, and team came through in the end. What more could you want?
Absolutely, and like the atmosphere before the game, Noah, was fantastic. We had the big tifo of the 3 Lions, but that was great. And I think apart from the ticketing, the prices and this sort of thing, that's been a bit of a controversy. We had some late tickets that were only like 25, 30 quid released just before kickoff, or the day before. And a lot of that sort of thing wasn't handled too well. But I think all the sort of like the pomp and ceremony of the Champions League has been handled really well by the club. And it's just a cracking atmosphere, just like it was against Bayern.
Yeah, I won't touch on the ticket prices too much. I think we spoke about them a lot when they originally came out. But no matter what, Villa fans come out in their numbers for nights like this, and every game under the lights seems to be extremely special. And I mean, pre-game, post-game, during the game, the fans are up for it. What an experience. Another one I wish I was there for. Should have extended my holiday for an extra week and a bit, and it would have been at a couple of good games. But, wow, I feel jealous for the guys that have been at every Champions League game, like the boys that go home and away. And there's some amazing trips to come up. And, 6 goals, none conceded, 9 points. It's a dream. It really is a dream.
It is a dream, and it's a dream I don't want to wake up from, Tommy. And you think, okay, we had this great game against Fulham on the weekend. Will there be a bit of a come down, a bit of a hangover? No, we just sort of took off where we left off against Fulham, and again, just another great performance. Apart from the first sort of 10 minutes where Bologna had a couple of shots on goal, I thought we completely controlled the game.
Yeah, definitely no signs of burnout, Scott, and I guess having a really deep bench helps. I was actually going to touch on Weepy's comment. Honourable mention certainly go to Carlos and Barkley. Wow, that guy just comes on and calms the game down. I mean, what was it, 5 million we bought him? He's a completely different player to who we sold, right? Bloody unreal. I can't believe it. And yeah, just Carlos since Ipswich. I don't know if he's flicked the switch. I think one of you said it the other night that he he's worked on his pace a little bit. I think it's been unreal. Don't know where to start, Scott. It's crazy, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And look, I think the place to start is maybe Unai Emery, because he made the changes. He made a few changes, and everything he just seems to do now, it just works. I mean, Ian Madsen coming in, just freshening up that left side, giving us a bit of pace down that left side. I mean, Digne has been fantastic, and like he gives us a different kind of threat. He's a great crosser of the ball. He's got a great left peg, but Madsen just wow, he was just so dynamic last night, and it just really caused Bologna a lot of problems.
It's what I've been saying for a while, Scott. Every time since we signed him, how good he is as a fullback. I mean, Champions League team of the season, I can say it another 40 times, but he put on a clinic like that last night. It's going to be hard to dislodge him. I know Digne's been unbelievable when you have a young, hungry fullback that's rapid and can deliver a football. That's what we need this football club at the moment. Fair play to him. He's probably been a little bit on edge. I mean, his last start was Wickham. He's been coming off the bench, playing left wing, playing different roles, but fair play to him. Unbelievable performance. And it was a great team performance. Even when Kamara came on, which I know we'll touch on how good that was to see Kamara back. Even he did a lot of nice things. He hasn't played football in 7 months. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely, he looks hungry, Kamara. When he came on, he got in a few challenges. He threw himself around, and he doesn't look like someone who's just trying to work his way back in slowly. It looks like someone who's missed out on a lot of football and doesn't want to miss this party that's going on, because he looked up and about. Another player that was given his chance, Tommy, was Duran for Watkins, and I thought he also had a good game. Could have scored a few goals. He got his goal in the second half. Wasn't too happy when he came off, and that was a big sort of talking point. He kind of was hitting the chairs and kicking the chairs. What did you think of his game, and what did you think of his reaction to being?
I mean, Ollie probably feels the same. I think he's just a better professional, and I think we forget Duran's just a year older than being a teen, so you can expect those little tantrums. And I mean, look, he can start in almost any team that he goes to. He's a young talent. I know there'll be bids coming in, mid-season for him, and I can't blame him, to be honest. As much as I want to say he's done wrong, like, what more does he need to do to start, right? I mean, and he's. What I was thinking today, actually, was a bit of a shower thought. I thought, well, Duran can do the things Ollie can do, but Ollie can't do the things Duran can, in terms of natural finisher, just taking shots, just knowing where the keeper is. Ollie doesn't do that, right? And, Duran can improve his work rate, but if you're a clinical finisher, you've either got it or you don't. And, yeah, I do feel for Duran, honestly. I think he probably should have seen full minutes, but also we're trying to preserve him, and, had he have got injured, he'd be even more annoyed, right? Yeah, I don't know what more we can say about that, but yeah, look, he's scoring. That's all he has to do, and you keep scoring, you'll have your chance. But it is a difficult situation. I know we say it's a good problem, but I do think it's pretty tough, Emery, at times. It's not easy to manage those kind of expectations.
And no player should be happy coming off, Scott. No player should want to come off the field.
Yeah, that's passion.
Like, I think Megin said in his post-game press conference when he got interviewed after the game, he's like, I've got people coming off at 65 minutes and be gutted, because for Megin, that was his first home Champions League game. Like, you just want to play. You just
he's the captain, mind you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, captain coming off or whatever. Like, it is what it is. We've got a squad. We need to keep everyone happy. It's not easy, I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
And he's not the only one. Anana, who was our big money signing in the summer, he gets subbed for Barkley quite a lot. After about an hour, 65 minutes. So, he's not the only one, and it just shows how many competition there is for the places. I mean, the bench is just crazy. Another guy that came in, and it was really great to see, Noah, was the captain, John Megin, back from his hamstring injury. And with the opening goal, he probably didn't plan it quite like that. But, when you put those good balls into the back post, like with a bit of pace and a bit of curve, anything can happen. And it went straight in, and we were on our way.
I understand the Bologna fans and players are a bit upset because it came from when their player went down and whatnot. But I think two players going for the ball, both players went down initially. I don't think there's any reason for us to pass the ball out. That's just me. If it happened against Villa, I'd probably be fuming as well. But I think Megin meant that, just curl it in, just get over everyone's head and dip it into the far corner. Definitely meant it. He'll take it, does the goggle celebration. I mean, it was good to see him back against Fulham just for that cameo when he came on. But, I mean, him starting, he's just a different beast. He would get into every Premier League side, in my opinion. He just carries the ball. He protects the ball. And I remember when he became captain, everyone's like, oh, he's not captain material. He's grown into it. He's absolutely grown into being a leader of this football club. And 7-8 years, he's our longest serving player, and I love him.
Was it Gerrard, Noah? Did Gerrard give him captaincy, I remember?
Yeah, Gerrard gave him captaincy.
Which is funny, right? No one predicted Mings' injury, but it's also like Megin was getting prepared for it, right? Unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? I did see a few comments floating around saying it would have been nice to see Mings get some minutes, but, I think this is just a bit too big of a platform. Maybe against Palace, we'll probably get some charity minutes towards the end of it, and I can imagine the stadium erupting there. Cash and a lot of them said he looks good and ready to go.
The stadium erupted when he went for a warm-up. Absolutely erupted.
Coming at him in a cave. Yeah, mate.
He's in there with Bin Laden.
Mate, Emery's wardrobe, mate. I want to see all the magic happens.
Absolutely. Look, I think we've just got to be careful with the likes of Mings, bringing them back too early or whatever. And I think he will come back. He'll play some minutes, and that'll be a really emotional moment. Like you said, the fans were singing his song when he was warming up, and it's great to see. And it's just like everyone seems to be back and firing now. Morgan Rogers, I think, is someone we got to talk about, Tommy, because he's just one of the most informed players in the Premier League right now. I would say behind maybe Cole Palmer. I
think it's safe to say probably on the planet right now. Scott, he's doing it across all competitions, so you got to give the kid credit. Kind of scary, we say he's a poor man's Bellingham, and he's producing every game against big sides, small sides, everything in between. Not what you can ask for. I know, a couple of years ago we would have been talking super optimistic, with the predicament we were in, Gerrard, even pre-Gerrard, and now I feel like we're in a best case scenario. I mean, like sitting top of the Prem's a bit unrealistic, but yeah, I think this is a best case scenario for us right now. So one thing I tell everyone is take it all in, enjoy it. I hope we continue this. Like even just making it out of the group in the Champions League would be unreal. Everyone said Villa going to do a Newcastle, Villa going to do a Newcastle. A lot of people are eating humble pie. A few slices, mind you.
Well, that's it. I mean, with 9 points, we probably only need another 5, to maybe 4 even to get into that top 8. And that would mean missing the playoff and going straight into the last 16, which would be incredible. Noah,
What? So can you say that again, Scott? Obviously, I'm a bit more stupid when it comes to. So, explain how that works.
All right. So there's 36 teams in the Champions League. In the league, right? The top 8 go straight into the last 16, right? And then the next 16, right? They
do a playoff.
Have a playoff, and then they'll play the 8 teams. The winners will play the 8 teams that have already automatically qualified. But if you qualify automatically, you basically play 2 less games. You don't have to play that playoff in, I think it's February. So in a really busy part of the year when a lot of injuries happen,
you get time off.
Yeah, you get time off, and
right.
In the group stage.
The
it's like finishing top of your group in the group stage.
Okay, so top 8 is what we got to aim for.
So when we were in the Conference League last year, we finished top, and we didn't have the extra round of football.
Went straight to the next round. So we're going straight to the round of 16 if we finish top 8.
If we finish top 8,
yeah.
That's unreal. Well, I mean, we're top 1 right now, so I mean, we're looking. Come on, guys, let's be a bit realistic.
And it's also like the higher we finish, the better seeding we get. So if we could somehow finish in the top 4, I don't know. Yeah, we could avoid the likes of Real Madrid and Man City, perhaps until fingers crossed, a dream semi-final or something like that. I mean,
that would be unreal.
Yeah. So look, like we've got Emery in there. He's been to the Champions League semi-final before with Villarreal. He's done it with a a team that's, doesn't have that much Champions League pedigree. Why can't we do it? Look at the team we've got. Like, it's incredible. Like, we've got star players playing at the top of their games. We've got young players like Rodgers, Rodgers, like I said, is playing some of the best football in the Premier League right now. And I still think he's got another gear or two to go to.
100%.
Once he starts clicking around the box a bit more with his last pass and his shots, then he could be unstoppable. Like,
I realised his shot power is one thing we don't see. If he could learn to ping a ball like how Vinicius did, we saw against Dortmund. If he could add that to his game and just improve his finishing, the one on the weekend against Fulham that he squandered, in front of goal. If he can add that to his game, he's got a full bag. And I actually see him chasing a lot more like Ollie as well. I noticed. I think against Fulham he done it right. Chased the guy down at the flag.
Absolutely, and I just love the way. It doesn't matter how many players from the opposition are around him. He almost sees it like a challenge. Like, I'm going to go past you into that space behind, and I'm just going to drive the ball forward. And it is the most satisfying thing to see, a player going through the midfield, cutting through players, and then just driving at the defense like that. It's like it just gets everyone off their seat. And what a player he is. And look, I just want to highlight. Mohamed Adam, because we haven't spoken enough about this guy as well. I think he was unreal. It's certainly his best game so far. His second start, he started against Wickham in the League Cup, but this was his big kind of, big curtain call, a big sort of welcome to the team and welcome to Villa, and he certainly didn't miss his opportunity.
Absolutely not, and he's a world-class player, Scott. Chelsea didn't want to sell him, I don't think. Dortmund wanted to buy him back but couldn't pay what we were going to pay. It's why you pay this sort of money for these sort of players. Onana cost us 50 million. We can see why we paid that money for him. Pau Torres wasn't cheap. Carlos wasn't cheap originally. He's now starting to show glimpses of why we paid for the money for him. It's what you do. It's what you do. And he has done that. He did that all season last year for Dortmund. And as soon as he gets that chance, and you were talking about last pod how I said Matson would come in and take Digne spot. It's going to happen. I think you can say that now, Scott. It's going to happen.
He's banging on the door. Something's got to change, right?
I think it's going to be very much a sort of needs must sort of situation. Like, certain games he's going to play because I don't know. Like, maybe Emery's smarter than I am, but I think he's going to figure out in these certain games he's going to be more effective than others, and maybe in this game it's more a Digne game. I don't know, but
I do agree.
Yeah.
I think Digne's coming off at 60 for future reference after this game. You got to give him more minutes in the Prem.
Yeah,
Prem's where we struggle, not the Champions League, right? That's where we're not keeping clean sheets. That's what we could probably do with someone like Matson balls into the box.
Absolutely, and just like Emery's signings since he joined the football club, I can't think of one that you'd say hasn't worked. I feel bad for Alex Moreno because he was so good for us as well. But you get the opportunity to bring Matson into the football club.
Next level.
When we signed John Duran, everyone's like, this guy from America. Why is he signing this young kid from America for? This is why. This is why he's such a good manager.
But Matson's different, right? 40 million Champions League.
From Middlesbrough. He signed no one from Middlesbrough.
Matson came with a nice resume already, I think, right? Champions League team of the season, 40 million price tag, couple Dutch caps.
Yeah. No.
Chelsea taking the piss. Why would you not fucking keep him?
They couldn't afford to because of FFP. He's an academy player.
What a shame.
I know.
Absolutely.
Emery just can pluck a gem, and he did it in Spain all the time as well. Like when John Duran, Morgan Rogers, they're the future of our football club. Like, they are, honestly, they're both so young. And I saw a thing on Twitter today. How long do you have the Grealish or Rogers debate? Who was better? It's not far off. Because Rogers, if Rogers is at the moment is just running the show, and is he 21, 22?
Look, Grealish shone with bad managers and bad support at the time. He could create. Rogers can create, but Grealish's finishing was also elite. Yeah. So anyway, look, different players. I'd take Jack back in a heartbeat. Would I trade him for Rogers? Absolutely not, right? No. Being arrogant.
No, it's just because of the age. He's got
age and attitude as well.
And we don't know what his ceiling is, and it could be, incredible. I mean, look at someone like Cole Palmer. 1 year was a reserve for City. Next year, one of the best players in the Premier League, and now he's he's insane. So, and I think Rodgers can do that too. I think they're very similar players. They played together at, in the Man City academy, and look, I'm just loving everything I'm seeing from him. He's so confident, and he's just a joy to watch. And look, Tillemans, Onana, everyone in that team today, apart from maybe one guy, and I think we need to talk about it, and it's Leon Bailey. He's struggling. Look, I'm not going to kick him while he's down, because I know he'll come good, and we need him. We need a fit and firing Leon Bailey.
He looks like someone, Scott, that needs 2-3 weeks off. He clearly didn't have a pre-season, but people have short memories, because he was unreal for us last year. And people are calling for his head or whatnot. He had an unreal year last year. He's one of our best players. Diaby started the season well, but I think Bailey was so consistent throughout the whole season. And it's so unfortunate that Badace has got a red card, because it means Bailey will start the next game.
Bailey, for me, our second best player last year, behind Ollie.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
Dougie Luiz, perhaps, maybe.
I was going to say, I think we've got to go back to basics, Scott, right? If we get Bailey was coming off the bench with impact, and, given he hasn't had a full preseason, maybe we kind of rushed him back. I don't know, but, maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's mental, something personal going on. But, yeah, I think we need to shake it up a bit. I also want to pull up Scotty UK's comment. I think, we've been talking about Ramsey's form. He's not super, and, I think he's still missing something. I think Digne and Maatsen actually isn't a bad shout on the left side. Overlapping runs, the other can cover at left back. Both can whip in a ball.
And we saw it. We've seen it in the final moments of matches. Like Maatsen play a bit higher up, and Jacob Ramsey has been playing there a bit on that left-hand side, and it's worked in some games, not so good in other games with him. So he's probably not in his greatest form, and he should have scored right at the end last night. That was a bit of a poor finish, and I'm sure he would like to have that one again. But look, if that's our biggest problem, that Bailey's a bit off it and just needs a goal, then we're flying. We are absolutely flying. Diego Carlos was great. Pau Torres, like champagne player, just like got to be one of the best defending ball playing defenders in the league. I know he had his issues.
One of who's a better centre back that plays outside of the full fucking passes, Scott? Let's be real.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. He's right.
So there you go.
Right up there. He's right up there, and he had his issues against Fulham with the goal he conceded to Jimenez, but we all know in terms of the way Unai Emery wants to play, he's the perfect fit for us. And he just starts so many attacks, calms everything down, and allows the likes of Tillemans and Rodgers and these guys get a little bit further forward, because they're confident that he's not going to lose the ball. He's going to find someone.
Good question. That's actually a good shout out by Muhammad Adam. Bring it up, Noah. I mean, player of the season, right? I don't know how it works exactly, but I assume it's whoever's got most man of the match performances, and obviously how their team performs. Is he the best player in the league right now? He's a top 3 player based on accolades itself.
Well, I think he's definitely our most consistent player.
Isn't that how best player of the season works? Consistently the best.
I reckon you find us on stats.
I know they'll look at Palmer and Egg. Well, then I'm like, if you get 2 goals, 3 assists right in one fucking game, then you go MIA for 4. Well, that's got to add up.
Yeah,
absolutely. And look, he's one of these players at Leicester. I think a lot of people rated him, but kind of thought he's good for Leicester. I don't know how he would go at a bigger club, but since he's come to us, he's taken his game to a different level, I think. And
it took him a while to settle in, though.
Well, it's the Emery effect.
Player. Yeah.
Well, I think everyone's taken their game to a new level, Noah, to be honest. And I mean, I think we always talk about who's underrated. I think the manager probably goes under the radar more than anyone, right? We're looking at players, not who got them there, who bought them, who shaped them into what they are, who's improved them, who motivates them, who manages the team pretty well.
Absolutely, but he's like he can't he can't do any wrong, Unai Emery. Like I mean, everyone now is starting to listen. All the pundits are starting to say that he is the real deal, and he maybe
why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, apart from Guardiola, maybe is the best coach in the league.
Yeah,
I wouldn't swap him for anyone.
I would love it to win some crazy silverware under him. I do think he's a project-driven person. Once we touch some silverware, then he might reevaluate. I don't know. Maybe it's a new challenge for him. But I think he's also you got to think he's probably a bit run down after Arsenal and PSG, and I think he knows his limitations now. But he's also redeemed himself, proven himself. But I think once he wins silverware with the likes of Villa, I mean, I don't know. I think we need a statue for him already, to be honest.
No, absolutely.
I think he's one of these managers that needs to be loved and kind of needs a project where he knows he's got the full backing and full trust of the hierarchy above him. Like at Arsenal, at PSG, you're always kind of like 2 or 3 games away, bad games away from getting sacked, right? And being under pressure and being spoken about in the media every day, like Ten Hag is at the moment, and how others are. Over history. But, if we lost 3 in a row coming up, right, there's no way anyone would, want Unai out. It would be like just,
Agreed.
All right, we're going to turn it around. We got full trust in him. And I think that goes from the fans to the board, and the players as well. And we can see that on the field. They just sort it out. And it's great.
And in both league and cups, Champions League, Scott, right? And Premier League, we've got a buffer as well. I hope it keeps going, but everyone's bubble pops at some point. Let's be real. When you look at Arsenal, that Saliba going off to Bournemouth, I call this. If that was Man City, they'd come back and win that, right? Or they probably just see it out. Like Arsenal, that they don't have the clutch gene. I feel like we have clutch right now. Yeah, we lost to them, and I think we're still finding our way early in the season. Bit carried away, but. I think we're there, man. I really think top 4 this year's a lock for EPL.
Well, a lock is a
and
big statement.
And we're linked with Mbomo. Is that true? Are we linked with Mbomo, I'm hearing?
For Brentford?
Yeah, really? Everyone's been talking about it.
I've been seeing it in the comments, but I haven't seen anything on social media.
I mean, for right wing, it solved the problem.
Or
left wing. It would be pretty good to have the option of Bailey or him.
But with Tony's departure, I think he's there like price possession right now.
Yeah, but everyone has a price. If we actually do it FFP, I don't see why we wouldn't do it. I do now. 14. How many games? 8 games into the Premier League season now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how people weren't happy how we were going after Man United? We dropped games against Ipswich and we dropped games against Man United. Do you guys remember we sat after 8 games last year?
6th or 7th.
I'm not sure.
According to this, we were sat in 11th on 9 points.
Jeepers.
Okay.
And we are in 4th with 17 points.
Last season?
No, so this season. Yeah, this
compared
season.
To last season.
Yeah, this season compared to last season.
Well, yeah, last season we were top of the league for a while.
We must have been a bit later. We must have gone on a roll. We must have gone. Yeah. It was in that jam time. But apparently, after 8 games, we had a -5 goal difference on 9 points. We're in 11th. We have a +5 goal difference.
I will say,
17 points.
Look, I know no games. I think we've had some semi-favourable fixtures this season. No, we've had a great fixtures.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we've got some tough ones coming up. Let's talk about some of those games, but let's also talk about what we got coming up in the Champions League, because it's Bruges away next, and they lost 3-1 to Milan last night. And
yep,
I watched the highlights of that one just to sort of check out who we got coming up.
Played well.
They actually did play well, yeah. So I don't think it's like a given, but it's definitely a winnable game. Yuri Tillemans and Onana going home back to Belgium. That's going to be a big game for them. And I think, there's a really good chance that we could have 12 points after 4. And look, that's well on our way to top 8 if that could be the case.
Be unbelievable.
If we beat them in Juventus, we're cooking.
Yeah.
Imagine that though. 15 points from 5 games.
And beating Juventus and Bayern at home. Unreal.
It's kind of like pinch yourself stuff, isn't it? Like it really is. Like 5 years ago, we were a newly promoted side, barely winning a game. Wasn't looking good. Relegation, and then it's just happened so quickly. Like it's just happened so quick.
Absolutely, it has. And look, it just keeps getting better and better. Look, we got Bournemouth coming up on the weekend. We spoke a bit about that on the last pod, and they've got a pretty good team. That's going to be another interesting test, and I'm sure Unai Emery will be working on all their tactics and plays and players already. He's just like an absolute machine when it comes to that sort of thing. But yeah, we win that game. That's another massive game, and then we've got Spurs away, Liverpool away. So yeah, this is going to be a massive month. So looking forward to it. Mohammed Adam says we have 16 points.
I know. I was looking at the Premier League Twitter, the official Premier League Twitter that posted it.
Yeah, shut up, Noah. You put him in his place, Mohammed.
Look, I can't really see it, but it says after I was at the final 8 games. I'm sorry, I didn't read. I didn't read. I don't read.
Thank you, Mohammed, for keeping him in line. He likes to get carried away.
I don't know. No, yeah. I thought it'd be the same thing.
We appreciate your input, Noah. We appreciate it.
I hope so.
Yeah,
we started all right last season too.
We did.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, we did.
We dropped off a little bit.
I think it's just different confidence too now. There's different confidence now to last season. I'd say that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think, that first few games we weren't at our best, but we're getting results. And the last couple of games we've shown since the international break that we are at the top of our game. And one guy we haven't spoke about is Boubacar Kamara. Came back, slotted in there, looked like a Rolls Royce. That's just going to give us an extra bit of solidarity in the midfield. And I think, if he could stay fit and get back to the form he had before the injury, what a good problem to have. And I mean, him, Onana, Tielemans, Megin, Rogers, all these guys going through there, Barkley. I mean, there's just so much to look forward to, so many options, and we're going to be absolutely firing. I think we can, with those kind of players, all at their best, we can go to places like Spurs and Liverpool and win.
I know. I agree. But it also gives Emery the chance to set up differently or let Tielemans play differently if Kamara's playing. Like at the moment, Tielemans is playing a lot deeper, but if Kamara comes in, he might go up a little bit further.
Yeah, but it works. I know Kamara is good, but just Tielemans next level. I trust Tielemans' pass. Remember, Kamara had some stuff ups last year with those passes out of the. I'm just saying,
it just gives him other options now.
I said, you think Onana's pissed when Barkley comes on. Imagine when Kamara's knocking on the door. You got to find a spot for him. It's how it is.
Yeah.
Onana and Kamara is almost like Rice and Party, right? I mean, I back out 2 over theirs, but I mean, that's a scary brick wall in front of your defense.
Scary.
It is. And Onana is huge. Watching him last night, he was towering over some of those little Italians and absolutely bossing the game and getting his foot in.
Score off a corner.
Yeah, he got close on one occasion to getting his head on it. Duran as well is huge.
The header, he had the header on goal. It's like anything Ollie can do, Duran can do better, or he's trying to.
That's it. I mean, you can seriously make the argument that he's as good as Ollie, or he will be in a couple of years. He's on that trajectory for sure.
There's an 8-year difference. We're forgetting 8-year difference. That's a lot of time. Ollie wasn't playing Premier League football. I think he was playing non-league at 20.
Probably. Yeah.
He was.
Look, I'm not saying one gets sold, but either way, they're both worth a lot of money. What's Duran's price tag realistically right now? When you factor in potential plus form, plus age,
65, 70 million.
Yeah,
crazy, right?
Yeah, and West Ham could have had him for 40, but they didn't want to pay the extra 5 mil. I know, it's just crazy how things work like that. I mean,
I know
he's. He could have been playing for West Ham. They've had a terrible start to the season. They brought full crew instead, who hasn't scored. I don't think he's even playing. I think they're still playing Antonio. So, Yeah, it's wild, but and maybe he goes to West Ham, he doesn't score. I don't know.
That's what I was going to say as well. Football's a funny game. It's so funny. Like just one moment can change your career forever. And honestly, I think that goal against West Ham for Duran, if he hadn't scored that game, who knows what would have happened this season? Like honestly.
And if you do fail at a club, it's so hard to get that stink off you. Like look at Unai Emery, for example, right? He he did really well with Seville, goes to Arsenal, it doesn't do that badly really, but finishes fifth a couple of times. The fans turn against him, he gets sacked, and then he goes back to Villarreal, to PSG, does all what he does, but no one in England rated him still.
Yep.
They all thought he was a failure because of that time in Arsenal. Comes back to Villa, and even he gets us into the conference that first year, right? You wait, second year drop off. All the Arsenal fans on Twitter and all sorts, just bagging him out at every opportunity. You wait, he's a failure. Wait, it's coming. Don't worry. Well, it's not coming because I'm pretty sure, apart from Arsenal and Man City, since Emery's been there, we've got more points than anyone. So
it's crazy.
We're up, yeah.
It's really
getting better. It's getting better and better. We're top of the Champions League. We're Arsenal are on top of the Champions League. We are. So,
but I want you to remember, like when they got Arteta in, they were doing so much worse than when they were when they had Emery. And they're like, just trust the process and whatnot. And then we get the manager and he's doing an even better job, and you're like, just wait. Like he didn't do bad there. As you said, like he got into the Europa League final and whatnot.
He had an awful team. He had an awful kind of tired team with older players on big wages that weren't really committed, maybe like Ozil and these kind of guys that were sort of not performing. And he had guys he had Shamak up front. He had
and Bentner. It was Shamak and Bentner in the Champions League final or semi, whatever they got.
Europa,
he's got some credit. He had a shoestring budget at Arsenal, and then they compare him to Arteta, who's had a war chest.
I know. He's been able to buy guys like Declan Rice for 100 mil. Buy a lot of good players. Like who else did he buy? He bought Trossard. He bought Calafiori. He bought
And Emery recognises youth. Don't forget he bred Martinelli, Saka, and a few others through. He loved, what was his name, Guendouzi at the time.
Guendouzi, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And he's just I'm just glad he did get sacked at Arsenal because he's with us now. And it's crazy. I mean, he could have gone to Newcastle. Remember, they made an approach for him, and he didn't really fancy it for some reason. But when Steven Gerrard got sacked, our owners went to Villarreal and went, we're taking him. Like basically just said, what is it going to cost for us to take him? And that you got to give them credit for that, for just giving him the keys to the car and just saying, look, we trust you and we're gonna back you 120%. And they've just done that from day dot. And now it feels like it really could be like an Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger situation where he's here for 10 years or more and we win not just one trophy, but a shitload, like 4 or 5, it could happen. I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. Like it's what you dream of. And I honestly think that we could win one this year. I really do.
I actually think we've got a better chance of winning the Champions League than the Premier League. What do you think about that?
I would agree with that.
Hi, Richard. Good to have you on board as well.
Liverpool aren't convincing, Scott. They're just getting shitty wins. There's no real dominant side.
But I just
we're flying under the radar. No one's talking about us, and I love it. Just keep it going.
If we kind of finish this group stage well and sort of finish 4th, let's say, then we could get a couple of good draws in the round of 16, a quarterfinal. Then all of a sudden we're in the semi-final against Real Madrid, City, Bayern Munich, whoever, right? And we can beat them. Like if it comes down to like 3 games, 2 legs in a semi and a final, then why not? Why not?
It's a good question if he's Scotty. I don't think he would. I don't think he'd buy a player for 70, 80 million. I think he's learnt when he bought Pepe and it didn't work out at Arsenal.
Well, Diaby as well, right? Now there's the Saudi money. You buy a good player, they piss off for more money a year later.
I think he's learnt the hard way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
Look, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what he would do if he had 100 mil to buy a player. Like, what kind of player would he buy? Who would he go for? Would he go back to La Liga and, maybe try and pick up someone from Barcelona, one of their wonder kids or something like that? Or
who knows?
And Nico Williams or, someone like that. That'd be interesting. But look, I would rather him just get in Morgan Rogers when all the Middlesbrough fans were saying, "Oh, we've absolutely rinsed you. I can't believe you're going to pay 15 million for him. He's awful. He only turns up every 3 or 4 games." And then now he's one of the brightest talents in Europe. So to all those Middlesbrough fans, I hope you're enjoying the championship, and we're enjoying Morgan Rogers. That's for sure.
We really are. We really are. And I can't wait to watch him against Bournemouth. I can't wait to watch him against Crystal Palace. I can't wait to watch him every time he gets on the grass. And that's why I got him on the back of my Villa shirt. Like, he's so enjoyable to watch. He really is.
He is. So is there anything else in this game that you guys wanted to highlight? Conser was back. I thought he did a pretty solid job. He was back in a right back, which we don't really like him at right back. But if Diego Carlos is going to play well and we're going to keep clean sheets, then I guess it's not too bad, right?
No,
nothing for me.
Conser does what he does. He's a Rolls Royce sort of player, and it's what you expect from him, even at right back. I know he's not a natural right back, but he's absolutely learning and doing his best there. And we saw it last year when Carlos is on. Conser doesn't have to cover as much, for example, and he can do the basics right, which he did well in the last few games.
Absolutely. And I just want to say that I am now top of the fantasy. The fantasy is yes.
I told you.
I am top. I got
because Chris Wood scored a goal.
Chris
Shut up.
Wood scored as well. So yeah,
Can I mute his mic? I don't want to hear this. I've had enough.
I had a pretty good week, I got to say. So look, that's probably a good time to wrap it up if we don't have anything else to talk about. Because
great idea.
Tommy's got a bit of a headache. I'm sorry, Tommy.
Migraine. I'm dying in the car, mate. I'm just fucking.
You've got to be quiet, Mate,
I've got a bad sinus infection, so I've got like this fucking throbbing headache behind my right eyeball, and because I've got the light on, the torch, it's probably not helping.
No,
the things I do for this fucking podcast. I'll be in the hospital.
We'll let you go because you've got a headache. Unai Emery's got a headache with all the selection issues he's got. So, but and maybe a few Villa fans have got a headache after last night and a few beers after what was a great win. But what a great time to be alive! What a great time to be a Villa fan.
Great times.
And we love you all, and we will be back after Bournemouth. So please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Share the pod. Put a comment in the pod in the comment section after the video's uploaded. We're back on Spotify as well after a bit of a delay where I was just a bit slack. And
you were pretty busy, Scott. You were pretty busy.
I was making a human, so it was a pretty busy time.
You have to learn something else.
Yeah, that's it. So up the Villa, and we will see you after Bournemouth. Catch you all later.
Woo. See you guys
later.